Okay, so this next video lecture is the continuation of our module 1. Okay, so in this lecture, we will be discussing about the comparison between financial accounting and cost accounting. So if you could still remember in our previous video lecture, we've mentioned there that cost accounting is one branch of financial accounting. Okay, but how do they uh, are different from each other? Okay, so we have here the different bases, okay, in comparing these two uh, accounting fields. So for or based on the nature under financial accounting, so here basically this is maintaining of historical records or costs. So again, when we say historical cost, these are the initial cost that was incurred in purchasing, installing, or constructing uh, or availing an asset, okay, or even a liability or other elements of our financial statements, okay. While for cost accounting, its emphasis is both on historical and predetermined cost. When we say predetermined cost, meaning these are uh, budgeted or uh, costs that will be incurred in the future or in the next accounting period. Meaning, even if a certain activity or production process or rendering of services have not yet undertaken, under cost accounting, we can predetermine the costs or determining the costs in advance. Okay? So basically, cost accounting is also used in planning. Okay, if you could still remember. So planning is creating activities, objectives, and strategies that will be used in the future. Okay, so that's how useful cost accounting is also for the management. That's why here, under the cost accounting, they are not only concerned about historical cost, but it can also include predetermined cost or those costs which can be incurred in the future. Okay, so another basis is use. For financial accounting, this is used even by the outside entities. But basically, financial accounting is, or the reports or the financial statements are actually prepared for external reporting purposes to satisfy the standards and the expectations as well, okay, of the users for their decision making. Okay, so that's why in financial accounting, this is used by the outside entities, especially for reporting, okay, and of course for compliance purposes. Compliance is an entity is required to submit audited financial statements uh, in BIR, in Securities and Exchange Commission, okay, as part of the regulatory requirements, okay, so that an entity uh, can be considered also to continue in their operations. Okay, so that is the use or how the financial reports are being used, okay, under financial accounting. For cost accounting, the data generated or the reports that can be generated from here is used only by the management. So this is what I am talking about in our previous video lecture, in which mostly the reports generated from cost accounting is generally used by the management for internal decision-making purposes. Okay, so that's how they are different in terms of the data, okay, or the reports that are being generated from these two different accounting or field of accounting. So the next basis is on the system. So here, the financial accounting, as we all know, we are using the double entry system for recording the financial data. So meaning every debit should always have a credit entry. Okay, and it should be equal as well. What about under cost accounting? So in cost accounting, basically we do not use the double entry for collecting the data. This is in terms of collection, but also when we record the transactions, we follow still the double entry system. But when it comes to cost accumulation, cost determination, and collection, we do not use the double entry. But again, under the cost accounting, if we will record the cost in the books of accounts, that is when we will use the double entry system. Okay. So the next basis is on the scope. In financial accounting, the scope covers all the items of income and expenditure, whether they are related to centers or not, meaning all or everything that an entity spends for, okay, that is considered to be accountable and recordable, so we include it in the books of accounts. While for cost accounting, the scope here covers only all the items that are related to cost or cost center. So other things like the income generating unit, normally this is the least concern, because here under the cost accounting we are focused on costs only. Okay. In The next basis is or based on the reports. So again, under financial accounting, reports are shown as our financial statements. So you are familiar with this already. Whereas under the cost accounting, the results are shown in the cost sheets, costing for profit and loss, reports for contracts and processes, or basically, we have different types of reports, okay, depending on the need of the management. Okay, so that's how we prepare these reports under cost accounting. On the basis of period, under financial accounting, this is normally prepared for a specific period. For example, for the year end, for the quarter, for the month of. Okay, so it's a specific period. That's how financial accounting is being prepared for reporting purposes. While under for cost accounting, we concentrate on the cost centers and not on the period. Or if the management needs will arise, okay, or if they request the cost accountant to prepare the report, then that's when we also prepare, okay, this data. So we do not follow certain or specific period. Okay, when the need arises, that's when we prepare the report. But of course, for decision-making purposes and for feedbacking, normally there is also a monthly reporting, quarterly reporting, and annual reporting. But aside from this, when the need arises anytime or when the management requests, okay, the accountant to prepare the report, then that's the time that they should prepare or create or generate this financial data. Okay, and lastly is based on the analysis of profit and loss. Okay, so for financial accounting, the profit or loss of the entire enterprise is disclosed. So we can see here, when we say profit and loss statement, this is the same as our income statement. So we prepare it as, the income statement or the statement of profit and loss is for the entire enterprise or business enterprise or as a whole. Whereas under the cost accounting, cost accounts will reveal profit or loss of the different products, departments separately. Meaning, under the cost accounting, we can prepare income statement for a certain line of product or department, okay, individually. So that's how profit and loss analysis is under the cost accounting. It's specific. Okay. So those are the different bases of comparisons between financial and cost accounting. Okay, so I hope you understood, okay, how they are different from each other, although cost accounting is considered to be a branch of financial accounting. What about if we will compare management accounting and cost accounting? Okay, so here, cost accounting and management accounting, they are considered to be the modern branches of accounting. Okay, both of them, they involve presentation of accounting data for the purpose of decision making and control for the day-to-day activities of an enterprise. So here, management accounting actually focus also on internal reporting purposes for the satisfaction of the needs of our management. Okay? So cost accounting, they are concerned not only with cost ascertainment as mentioned earlier, but they also uh, relate to cost control and managerial decision making. Okay? Management accounting, on the other hand, it makes use of the cost accounting concepts, techniques, and data. So the function of cost accounting and management accounting actually they complement. If you will explain it in another term, uh, cost accounting is part of management accounting because management accounting is large or it has a huge scope. Okay, management accounting concerns the different areas or departments of a business entity, while cost accounting focus on the costs. Okay, cost control, cost ascertainment, reporting, and for managerial decisions. But again, the cost accounting is considered to be very specific with the cost, while management accounting is a huge, or it has a huge scope, which includes cost accounting. Okay, so that's why we have mentioned here that management accounting makes use of the cost accounting concepts, techniques, and data. Okay, so in cost accounting, as mentioned also earlier, its emphasis is on the cost determination, while management accounting considers both cost and revenue. Okay, or a broader scope. So though it appears that there is overlapping, okay, of areas between cost and management accounting, basically there are differences, okay, between them. But of course, again, as mentioned, they are interrelated. Okay, so we have here the table for the comparison and basis between management and cost accounting. So for the purpose, um, management accounting, its function is to provide information to the management. So this is for efficiently performing the functions of planning, directing, and controlling. Okay, so this is considered to be a broader scope. While under the cost accounting, its main objective is to ascertain and control the costs of products and services and other activities of the entity. Okay, so more specific concern or emphasis is on the cost accounting side. For the emphasis, for management accounting, it deals with future projections also, but they base it on historical and present cost data. Basically, if you want to project or plan or budget for the next accounting period or for the future, the uh, the most appropriate basis for it is the historical data or the present data. Okay, so that's how management accounting used, okay, this data. While for cost accounting, as mentioned also under the comparison between financial and cost accounting uses both historical and present data. But if you could see, their emphasis is somewhat the same. Okay. Under the cost accounting, you can also project or project cost for the future or plan or budget cost for the next accounting period. So in this basis, they have somewhat the same emphasis. Okay. In terms of principles and procedures, so here, there is no prescribed, or under the management accounting, I mean, there is no prescribed procedures and practices. So the analysis is made and the resulting conclusions are presented in the reports as per the requirement of the management. So this is what I am mentioning before, that under this field, although we have given formulas and techniques, but at the end of the day, the analysis and how the management accountant understood and solved the problem using the principles is what matters most. Okay, and it should always make sure that they use relevant information so that management can achieve sound as I mean they can achieve sound economic decisions. Okay, so that's how it is under management accounting. For cost accounting, here there are established procedures and practices that are being followed, but again analysis is also used aside from these practices. Okay, but broadly speaking, under management accounting, there is no rule, okay, but they have principles that they can refer or relate to, okay, when it comes to the preparation of the reports and decision making. For the data used under management accounting, so they use both qualitative and quantitative information. Okay, because in this case, for management decision making, aside from the quantitative data that is being presented, they should also couple it with qualitative data. For example, a certain department incurred a loss. Okay, so aside from uh, making a conclusion that they are not performing well, the management should also consider the reasons why did that certain division incurred a loss. What are the possible reasons behind it? Okay, so this is an example of using quantitative and qualitative information. While under the cost accounting, so we only use quantitative information, because again we are using, or we are concerned, I mean, with costs. Okay, so that's why we are focused on the quantitative information. Okay, and lastly, based on the scope. So here, uh, under the management accounting, they include financial accounting, cost accounting, budgeting, tax, and reporting to management. So that is why I am saying earlier that management accounting is considered to be a broader scope, okay, because it uses also other branches of accounting. While under the cost accounting, it only concerns mainly, again, with cost. It's ascertainment or determination and how to control it. Okay. So this is how uh, cost accounting is different from management accounting. Or in some other bases, as we've mentioned earlier, there are some points where cost accounting is also related or the same with management accounting. So those are our comparisons of cost accounting with the different or the other branches of accounting.